love these am I the asshole and like relationship videos when I watch them on TikTok, regardless of how real or fake or whatever they are. I end up watching them all the way through. I wanted to start reacting to them. Just for a reference, I have been married for 7 years, going on 8. I've been with my wife since I was 20. I am 34. I think we've done pretty good. We have 2 kids. One's almost 4. One is almost 1. Pretty happy. Don't really, you know what I mean? So like these are just interesting to me and I wanted to react to them.
38 male for cutting back on work to prove a point to my wife. 30 female. My wife is you.
I feel like we already know where this is going. He's going to cut back. I'm assuming, we'll see. He's going to cut back on work because he's paying for everything and she's not acknowledging that he's working and paying for things, and they're unhappy in the relationship because there's a back and forth.
Usually
My
an
guess.
angel of a woman.
I actually haven't seen this.
Recently gotten into a friendship with a woman whom I personally believe is a bad influence on her. Not in a patronizing way, more of a lay down with dogs, get up with fleas type of situation.
I've seen this a lot, oddly enough. I don't know what it is, but it seems like most guys aren't actively looking for a friendship or more friendships, or like very picky with their friendships. And most women seem to just let in whoever and not really judge the character of the person first before they decide to make a friendship. I've seen it where like I'm like, yeah, I don't like that person. Here's why, and it ends up being right a couple months later. So I get this.
I've never
Not saying I'm always right or everyone's always right.
I've never said anything about her childishness or her very radical misandry, because frankly, it doesn't affect me until it did. A few months ago, my wife began pressuring me to do more around the house. Before I get an instant "you're the asshole," we already split chores and childcare. Admittedly, she had a bigger cut than I because she is a stay-at-home mom, but I do most of the cooking.
I have a really strong opinion about stay-at-home mothers. I understand the work that goes behind it. I've stayed home and with my kids and been the sole one to take care of them from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. before they go to bed. I get it, but I have a strong opinion about this stuff.
Breakfast and dinners, lunches.
So he's saying he works. Her job is stay-at-home mom, take care of the kids. They split chores.
Her responsibility for her and the boys. I take out the garbage and I do laundry. And I deep clean the bathrooms once a week. I do also help with our boys' homework and such.
I'll marry this man right now.
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing like everything he could possibly be doing. Obviously, you don't have the whole story.
The bar is low, but like he's doing a lot.
The bar is 6 feet under, but it's pretty good.
That's what's crazy is some relationships are so bad and some people are so bad at being dads, parents, husbands, wives, whatever, that it really isn't difficult to be good at those things. It's really not. It's just a decision.
She insists that I am not doing enough and that I should be doing more around the house. I tried having discussions with her, asking what she expected from me, namely all chores and child rearing should be my duty, it seems, and for months it seemed to be going nowhere. She used the D word more than once when speaking on this, which felt manipulative.
What's the D word?
What's the D word?
Divorce.
Okay, when I was younger, how I started, and even with my wife now, when we first started dating, I said, if we break up or take a break, it's over. Like, I don't do an in-between. You're either all in, and that's where you're at, or if you need a break, then the relationship's over. Like, there's no going back. It's just how I've always viewed it. So if you're married already and you're just casually throwing around divorce, in my mind, that's over. Like, that's the end of that. There's no in between. You wouldn't just casually throw that around. Instant, people say red flag, whatever. Instant, I assume this relationship is already a very bad relationship, regardless of the other information.
I was like, Dad?
I was a little confused what the D word was.
Oh my God.
That is manipulative. It boiled over when we were out with friends one night, and she began talking about how I never help out and how I use her as a house slave. Her words. I will admit, I saw red. The next part is where I may be the asshole. I didn't say anything that night, but the next day I asked my boss to be given reduced hours for the next little bit due to stress. And I took over everything in the house. I cooked breakfast and made lunch for the boys before I drove them to school. I cleaned the house.
So what is her stay-at-home mom duties? If you're making the food, driving the kids to school, I'm wondering if this guy, if they have babies or something, is there like tons of kids?
Top to bottom, I did every
Doesn't
dish
sound
we
like
had
it.
twice, and so on. My wife was blindingly happy and bragged to her friend that she had finally worn in.
Wow, I had
Dude, Oh, first of all, I am a huge believer in you don't talk like even in your close friends, you're not down talking your husband, significant other, wife, whatever. Very simple reason. When you're in a relationship, you have very temporary problems, disagreements, whatever, things that pass very quickly. And for the relationship, people in the relationship, it happens that it's over. You never think about it again. Like it is so irrelevant after the moment that you never think about it again. But when you go and you're complaining to your friends, family, whatever, you're complaining to other people outside of the relationship, that's all they hear. And that is now a permanent thought. That is how they see that other person forever. So the fact that she's going I realize people are like, well, you gotta have girl talk, whatever. You do not need to talk negatively or put your all's temporary problems or current problems on display for other people, for anyone else. That there are 100%, there are things within a relationship that never need to go outside of the relationship. If you really respect the relationship you're in and you love the person you're with, you gotta realize that. And if you don't, I think you're missing out on a very core part of a relationship.
Many different,
like the whole idea of complaining and saying what did she say, worn in,
she didn't
whipped
lift a
him.
finger
That's
for
crazy.
around a month. Then she began asking why we never went on dates anymore and complaining that she wanted to get her nails done as they were growing in. I explained that I had to take that out of our budget so we could continue to afford everything.
They're talking about she was being manipulative with the divorce. This is too. I do think there's some value in if you can't talk to somebody and explain something, you show them physically, which is what she's like. If he's basically creating a scenario, if this is what you want, this is what it will look like.
But we could absolutely have a
It
movie
is kind of
night in,
manipulative.
and I could paint her nails for her. She was unhappy with that solution. So I asked her if she would want to get a part-time job to pay for her luxuries.
No way. There's no shot she's going to want to do that. She's doing nothing.
I asked if she wanted to join a cult. She then asked if I could just go pick up more shifts at work to cover her other expenses and use.
Wild. Straight up normal relationship. You're not going to say, hey, go pick up more stuff. You're going to accommodate the situation. Obviously, he created this weird situation, which isn't realistic. But if you're in a relationship where the person bringing in money stops making money or isn't making as much, you need to adjust your lifestyle and support that person. Because I'm really confident that if somebody just loses out on their income, they're not very happy. It's not like they wanted it to happen. Granted, here, he created a false situation.
The phrase, be a man, which I found more than a little insulting. I then asked if she would be
a man, but at the same time, you're not doing traditional women stuff like taking care of the kids, making food, doing the dishes. Saying a little weird.
Willing to go back to splitting the chores and such, which is when she began to catch on that the two were related. She yelled at me that I was being a manipulative asshole for doing this and even claimed it was financial abuse. I stood strong for a while, but now I am questioning my methods because even I feel what I did was a little bit underhanded.
As in, he stopped making as much money to do the chores.
Mm-hmm.
I would not say he's the asshole here because the beginning of it talks about them having these conversations and it seemed like she just didn't get it. And it's not like he made a permanent decision where like he quit his job and took some lower, gaining job to go and prove this point. This is something that was very temporary. He can go back. Lesson learned. This just sounds like a relationship that has a lot of problems. And it seems like his wife in this situation is very, I don't even know the word I want to use. She's very entitled for sure. I think we got to acknowledge if you're a stay-at-home mom, that is your job. And if you look at it from a normal job perspective, you have things you have to do. This, and this are all part of your job. You got to do it every day. It is what it is, right? Obviously, weekends are different. If he's not working on the weekends, then things change. But like during the week, when everyone's working, job. If she wasn't getting that, I do think there is some value in learning, the learning lesson of here's what it would look like. You get to taste what happens, what we lose, what we gain, what's going on. I genuinely don't think he's the asshole. I think there's some more, it's a little bit deeper and more broken than they're acknowledging here. It's kind of sad to hear that this is like this is very normal. I see these videos all the time where people are talking about this stuff. Also, probably don't put that, try to keep some of your relationship stuff to yourself. Watch things like this where you see other people dealing with it and just process how bad it sounds from the outside perspective. And then maybe make some adjustments within your relationship to make it better for the both of you. Just an idea.